In that context, I would like to bring you Dr. S. Anand Reddy, Chairman ISTD Hyderabad. He's a well-known HR leader in Hyderabad circles. He has been into both media, manufacturing, IT, so very well-known HR leader. We thank you for having Dr. S. Anand Reddy here to create how business owners can create enterprising managers for their organization. Anand, over to you. Thank you.
So much. Yeah. Very good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it is nice to be among so many business people. Now, Sandeep has introduced me with the two concepts. One is I am a HR professional who takes care of the lot of teams in the organizations. And second one, he also spoke about Sachin. So let me start my presentation with these two things. So before I start, I would request everyone, just keep your left hand up, little bit up. With your right hand, with a one finger, just clap your left hand with a one finger. Next, just use two fingers to clap. Next, 3 fingers. Next, 4 fingers. Next, 5 fingers. Wonderful. Which was the loudest? Why? Why a clap with a 5 fingers is the loudest? Can you be little? Yeah, because of the power and because of the mass, you have lot of energy flowing in. It is not the fingers that were clapping. It is a synergy of those 5 fingers you have a palm to clap. Now that is what I am going to present to you today. It is not you alone who can run the business. It is together with you, your team, which makes your business to be successful. So that is what I am going to discuss about. How is that you can enterprise your managers? How is that you can enterprise your own team members? That is what the thing that I am going to speak about. Now the second point that I wanted to say, I said I will address Sachin also. How many of you sitting here knows Vinod Kamli? Okay, wonderful. How many of you sitting here know Sachin Tendulkar? So now I'm seeing most of the hands going up in terms of a Sachin Tendulkar and lesser hands in terms of a Vinod Kamli. You know the reason? But I'll tell you, Vinod Kamli is a much, much better player than Sachin Tendulkar, frankly speaking. If you trace back the history, Vinod Kamli and Sachin Tendulkar, where they made a lot of scores, that's a record innings in the school, Vinod Kamli made more runs than Sachin Tendulkar. And then Vinod Kamli's shots were much better than Sachin Tendulkar. Now, why is that? Sachin Tendulkar is known to entire world, and as he rightly said, he was considered as a god of cricket, not Vinod Kamli. Now, the simple reason, those days when selectors chose Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kamli to the team against West Indies, they had a lot of hopes on these two people, but surprisingly, they lost the entire innings series. But once they came back, you know, those days West Indies bowlers on their pitches when they were bowling, the kind of bouncy balls that they had, each one is almost 6.1 and 6.2 tall, and when they run to bowl, every batsman in the world used to shiver. Now, same as happened, we lost the matches and we came back, but after coming back, there was a person, out of these two people, Vinod Kamli said, I am one of the most stylish player and I know a lot of techniques. I failed only on the bouncy pitches, so he has relaxed a bit. On the contrary, Sachin Tendulkar, he just focused with the help of his coach, understanding what was his weakness. And with this intention, he just focused on the weakness for 56 continuous days, every day 2 hours, apart from his regular practice, only on the bouncy pitches. And that is where everybody remembers Sachin Tendulkar's best shot is that it's an uppercut in Shoaib Akhtar's fastest bowling in the World Cup. Now that's where he was shining. Now, as Nileshgar rightly said, when businesses are collapsing, you need to relook where we are going wrong. That is what is the best thing. In fact, this morning when I was preparing for a presentation, I was asking, who is an entrepreneur? So there was a very, very interesting Just give me. Very interesting answer which says, who is an entrepreneur? He says, a guy who is being bothered by. First one is a customer. Second one is a core team. Third one is an employee. And fourth one is an investor. And the last one is wife and girlfriend, it seems. And I'm not sure why fifth one is bothering their business people. But you know, the most interesting point which also speaks about the business person is a person who has got a high expectations in life and enjoys being in a constant agony of success. Now at the same time, he also says, a person that takes the hard way in life, but 300% happier than everyone else. So when we are doing a business, ultimately what's happening is that I want to take a risk. I want to be happy in whatever I am doing. So that is the kind of concept that we have. But today, I'm just going to give you a few inputs. How is that we can manage all these people? Now, the first one, what I wanted to say before I start these qualities, the first thing is that, you know, there was a very interesting study. I was reading, I think, yesterday or this morning. There was a KPR Mills in Tamil Nadu, which conducted a convocation in their organization. I know it is surprising when I said convocation in the organization. It is not an institute. Now, he invited a lot of business people and the leaders of the politics to come for this convocation. And in this convocation, there are 356 employees who got awarded during this convocation. Now somebody asked, what is this? Why you are giving a convocation to your employees? Then he said very clearly, they are not employees, they are students. Why they are students? They are the people who are from villages, who came there to work in his company. Now, after 8 hours of work, for 4 hours they used to study. He used to sponsor their education free of cost. Now, after the education, then every time they pass in their qualifications, he conducts a convocation, and that's how they get a certificate and they go back to the other jobs. Somebody asked, you are taking so much of pains, you are investing so much in the recruitment process of bringing those people to the organization, but when you are bringing these people into the organization, when you make them to study free of cost, don't you think that you will have a high attrition among your company? Then he said, wonderful. I don't want to bind anybody for their skill set. In fact, he openly addressed there all the business leaders, whoever is from IT company, please give them the jobs, he said. Then somebody asked, how do you get manpower? You know, the logic he said is that very, very interesting logic. Today, if I am educating these people and placing them in the bigger company, now these are the people, these are my HR people, these are my recruiters who bring in the other set of people from the villages and then they place them here because they know that I am taking care of them. They are my strength. People are my business. People are my people. That's why I'm sure most of you have heard one statement said by one of the industrialists who says, you take away all my businesses, you take away all my buildings, you take away all my cash, but leave my people with me. I will rebuild the business again as it is. Now that is the power of people that we have. Now I should thank Sandeep for giving me this opportunity to address about the people to the business leaders. The simple reason is that most of us, we as an individuals, we start fighting by ourselves. I fight to win the business. But today, I am addressing you with a you which is in the business summit. I am not speaking about I. So far, you might have heard about I. Today, it is you. Now, when we speak about I, first one, there are 3 things that I wanted to speak about. How these 3 qualities are that you inculcate or implement in your organization makes or brings out those 3, which is the outcomes. Now, if you look at the first one, what I said is that it is an appreciative ownership. Now, when I'm speaking about appreciative ownership, how is that we give a ownership to the employees? The most of the time, what we are facing, the problem in the organizations is that employees do not take ownership. They just work as employees. As long as you work as an employee, as long as you don't take a ownership, you just behave like an employee and you don't take responsibility. Now, I'm sure I'll give you this ownership. What is the concept of ownership? How is that we make this ownership more applicable to us? I'll give you an example. Now, suppose you just walk out of this room for a break. Now, when you walk out, just near the doorstep, you find a beautiful colored cloth lying over there. So, as soon as you see the beautiful colored cloth lying over there, and then you just stamp on over it, and then you walk out because it doesn't matter to you because it's a colored cloth. You might wonder, what is this beautiful color? And then you just walk out. Now, after going for a tea, while having a tea, somebody says, Are, I have seen that, why is that they put some XYZ country's flag over there in the doorsteps? Then you look at suddenly and see back, oh, this is XYZ country's flag. But you take it light because it doesn't matter to you. But the same way, instead of XYZ country's flag over there, as soon as you open the door, you wanted to step out, you find an Indian national flag over there. What do? Do you stamp over it? What do? You pick it up. Then you pick it up and do what? You keep it in a respectable position and then you move out. Now, it's a very simple what I'm saying. Because I am associated with this country, because I like this particular flag, therefore I have that respect to this particular flag. Similarly, when you make your people owners of your business, when you give them a appreciative ownership of their business, their work nature, I'm telling you, they also own, they also respect our company. Because when they go outside, I don't say I am Anand. We always get associated with some tag which is there. It is the business which is going to lose in case if we are not appreciating. Now, when business is coming in, when your managers are doing well, your employees are doing well, there is no problem in appreciating them, stating that because of you, we have got this business. You are not going to lose any money. It's not money that motivates the people today. It's some appreciation that is motivating the people today. This is what the research says. Now, that is why we said we develop OCB. OCB is nothing but organizational citizenship behavior of an employee. When you give an appreciative ownership, they develop those skills. Now, secondly, people management skills. The most important skill set every organization is that, if you look back into the organizations, almost 20 to 30% of the revenues or the business which is coming in is being spent on the peoples in terms of wages in every organization. Now, if you do not utilize the effectiveness of the person, they will not be performing better. There was a research which was conducted which says every employee in the organization works hardly for 4 hours. Now, if every employee puts another half an hour or 1 hour extra efforts, the organization's growth will go double and double. As we listened about it, it's a 10x growth which happens. Now, how is that an employee? You as a business person, I'm sure people who are sitting here, people who are aspiring to be business leaders, you will not put nothing less than 12 to 13 hours every day in terms of thinking about your business or improving your business. But can you transfer that kind of efforts to your team members, where rather your team members will take your burden to increase the business? That is what is important. Today, please understand, organizations are running. I'm sure Ola, which runs into a bigger business, they don't have even a single car in their name. Similarly, without you taking the pressure, can you leave your pressure or leave your ideas to your team members where they carry forward your business? That is what is the people management skills. When people are managing, please understand, you only need to exhibit a servant leadership qualities. What do I mean by servant leadership? Today, there are 20 people or 30 people in my team. I cannot have a brain of 30 people. But if I facilitate them, I can have the knowledge or output of 30 people. A leader is a person who becomes a servant, who is like a mother. When a child is studying, a mother gives just a cup of coffee. When she gives a cup of coffee, it's a trigger that stimulates the child to study much better. Similarly, as a leader, can you identify those qualities? And the third point, what I wanted to say is that it is informed decisions. Informed decision making. Now, most of the leaders in the organizations, they are very afraid, what happens if I give the decision making power to my team members? I might lose. Please understand, if you want to make your team members, if you want to make your organization, people in the organization to be owners of your business, the decision making is very important. I'm not asking you to just give entire power so that, it goes into a loss. But can we say, in a day, if the person has to make 10 decisions, can you simply say that out of 10 decisions, you have a permission to make one mistake in the decision? No problem. But however, after every 2 decisions that you are making which are impacting the business, we will have a review meeting. So basis on your decision-making abilities, your consequences of those decision-making powers, let us see how I can give you more power. Now that makes the people to understand I am being empowered together with a control in my boss. Now that is how people grow very much. So now when you make the people to be informed decision makers, they know they are making a decision, but every decision that they are making is being informed to you. When they inform to you, you know what's happening in the business. So these are the 3 things. So that's how they become a visionary business leaders over a period of time, because they are understanding what is your vision, and then they are transferring your vision into their vision, and that's how they're getting the things done. So with these 3 things, the first one is appreciative ownership. Second one is encouraging them for the people management skills. And third one is, very interestingly, informed decision making. And please understand, if you make the people to do it, ultimately what they do is that when they speak to the other people, this organization gives you better benefits, they don't say. Rather, they say, we give you better benefits. Make your team members to say we, not this organization or X organization. When people are saying this we, automatically you can understand they are owning, they are with us. So with these few words, I would like to thank Mr. Sandeep for giving me these opportunities. Thank you very much. And I wouldn't say use, I would say utilize the effectiveness of the people's skills, and your businesses will flourish like anything. Thank you very much.